Hello, everybody. How are we doing? Good. Come on up, Isabel. We need you too. Look, and you have a friend. That's always the best. Is that harder? That's harder. Yeah, I was going to say, that's not harder. So last week was Mother's Day. Did you guys do anything special with your mom for Mother's Day? What'd you do? Yeah. We went out for dinner. Was it good? Tasty? Awesome. What'd you do, Jenna? Really? Oh, wow. And Hunter. You guys all had pancake breakfast. What's that? Rowan came too. Yes. Yeah, she said she was there. So we do special things on Mother's Day for our mothers. Why? You celebrate your mothers. Why do you celebrate your mothers? Go on. Yeah. They do a lot for us, right? Yeah, for you and for me too. My mom does a lot for me, that's for sure. And we love them, right? And they love us. So when I was a little girl, we used to do activities in elementary school around Mother's and Father's Day. And one of the activities that we did is we would make these coupon booklets. Have you guys ever done that before? No? You would make a little booklet, and inside would be these coupons that you would write and draw. And one, for example, might be, I will mow the lawn. And so when you gave the booklet to your mom or your dad, they would tear it out and say, here, go mow the lawn. And that would be a way that you could show them that you love them. So it was a way not only to appreciate them, but to show them your love. And so here's an example of a coupon booklet that's kind of like this. This one isn't especially for a mother or father. This is maybe for a friend or for a girlfriend or boyfriend or husband or wife. But it's the same principle. Do you see what it's called? What's it called? Yeah. Coupons from the Heart. And who's on the front here? People. They're two little people. What do they have on their chests? Hearts. That's right. Hearts for love, right? And then on the inside, there's some directions. It says, so this is to me from my husband, Josue. That's what that first part is. And it says, present the coupon to the giver. So I would give it to my husband, right? And then you can redeem it anytime, anywhere. So anytime I want him to do one of these things, I can give him a coupon. And it says, valid for 100 years from the date of purchase. So they won't go bad. And it says, guaranteed to enrich your life. What does that mean? You got it in, yeah. Make your life better. That's right. Make you feel loved. So here's an example of one at the front here. What's this one say? What would he do for me if I gave this one to him? A night at the movies. Here's another one. What's that? A back rub. What are they saying in the picture? Yeah, the one saying, you're so bony. And the other one says, ow, because they're stick figures, right? Yeah, that's supposed to be good. And this one, what's this one? A sporting event, so you could take me to see the Phillies, or something like that. So there's another one in here. How about this one? What's this one? Yeah. Apologize. That's an interesting one, isn't it? So maybe he did something and he made me sad, and I give him this coupon and he'll say sorry. Sometimes that makes us feel loved too, when we realize that somebody loves us so much that they're willing to say sorry to us. So there's a whole bunch of different examples in here, but the whole point of the booklet is that not only do you say to somebody, I love you, but you show them, right? Just like you did on Mother's Day with all your moms. You show them that you love them by taking them out to eat, by having your pancake breakfast. And this is what God asks us to do with all kinds of people, not just our moms and those people that we know, but everybody. We're called to show God's love, not only by saying it, but by doing it. And there's all kinds of different ways that we can do that. So let's pray together. Gracious God, we give you thanks for your Son who shows us your love. Inspire us to mirror that love. Inspire us to love others just as you have loved us. Help us to not only say our love, speak our love, but help us to show our love in our actions and in all that we do. Amen. All right, you can go back to your seats. Thanks so much for coming up. Jesus said, "By this they will know that you are my disciples, if you show one another love." Right? By this they will know. We talked last week about authenticity, genuineness, what it means to be authentic or genuine. We talked about how it's not only being honest, right? Saying what you mean, and then doing what you say, but it's also knowing who you are. And then we talked a little bit about who we are as children of God, that we're loved, that we're cherished, that we're valued. And that's no matter what, without exception. And we talked about all the different things in the world that can make us feel like we aren't loved, like we aren't valued. Because it's not always easy to remember that we're loved in that way. And when we're living in a world that tells us otherwise. What are some of the ways the world tells us that we're not good enough, that we don't measure up?
You don't get that job?
Didn't get that job. What are some other ways that the world tells us we don't measure up? Too fat, too skinny, too rich, too poor. Too much of this, too much of that. Not wearing the right clothes. Don't have cool friends. Not making good enough grades at school. You didn't get that promotion. Your house isn't big enough. Your car isn't fancy enough. All of these things, right? Constantly. This is all that the advertising world does, is tell you how you're not measuring up. And then says, please, buy our product. And you'll be all caught up. Everybody will love you. Right? All the time these messages, we're getting bombarded with all of these messages. So it can be really difficult to remember that yes, we are loved. We are enough. Just as we are. With our uncool clothes. With our extra pounds. With a job that isn't quite what we thought it would be. God still loves us. So, now what? Right? If we accept that love, it's transforming. But now what? Now what do we do? That's what this reading is about. And now what? Jesus has just shown his disciples that he loves them by washing their feet. And now he tells them, now you know how much I love you. Now you are called to go out and share that love. Share that love with others. A month ago, we talked about some demographics from our community. We talked about different reasons that people might hesitate to come to church, or that people in church might think about leaving. And the number one reason for both of those groups of folks, for either not coming through the doors or going through the doors wherever, is that church people are too judgmental. That was what they thought. And then another statistic that corresponded with that was that the number one thing people are looking for at church isn't a particular kind of worship. It's not a particular program. What they're looking for is warm, friendly encounters, was the technical term. But basically what they're looking for is to be loved, to be accepted, to be treated kindly. It's not too hard, right? No magic in that. Except that it can be hard, can be hard. To love people? Yeah. So, here at St. John's, we know each other pretty well. But I bet there's somebody in here, and for those of you who are guests today, think of your own churches, I bet there's somebody in there who you just find really difficult. Maybe there's somebody, and it's just challenging to work with this person, and you just can't understand where they're coming from. Maybe there's somebody. Allie's punching her mom. Hey, for Mother's Day too, Allie. It happens, right? This is the nature of being human beings. We don't always get along. We don't always understand each other. Sometimes we're like, I gotta work with that person, right? But if something were to happen to that person, their parent died, they had a car crash, I bet you folks here, you would still check in with them, ask if they're okay, maybe send them a card, ask if you can help, right? Yeah, even though you can't fully understand them, even though you find them a little difficult, you could still do that. We know each other, right? And we love each other. We're family. The challenge then becomes preparing ourselves to act in that same way for those people who aren't here yet. For those people who are different than us. So if somebody came through the door, and it was obvious from what they were wearing, maybe the way they smelled, the way they looked, that this person had been living on the streets for a long time. They didn't have a home. And here they were in our church. They came through the door and they sat in the pew. The question is, would we be ready to love that person? What would we have to say? What would we do? I can tell you what the world is saying to that person. The world is saying to that person in so many ways, over and over, you have failed. You're unworthy. You're unlovable. Nobody cares about you. You've been written off. You failed to get a job. You failed to support yourself. You failed to be independent. You failed to support your family. You're a failure. That's what the world is telling that person. Then the question is, what do we tell that person?
We don't judge anybody.
Do we sit next to them?
We don't judge anybody.
We don't judge anybody, but how do we show it? That's the question, Sue. Do we sit next to that person? Do we show them how to use the hymnal? Do we invite them to come to fellowship? Do we say, hey, we're having a block party in a couple weeks. Why don't you stop by? It's going to be a fun time. It's going to be food and games. Come on down. We'd love to have you there. Do we ask to hear that person's story? How are you doing?
We do all that. We do all this.
Sue says we do these things. We do.
We do. We do all this.
You know why? Because it comes from the heart.
It comes from the heart.
Yes.
Because when we do these things, we're showing them that we feel differently. That we're not saying the same thing the world says to them. Right? Because the world will ignore that person. Sit as far away as possible. Because of fear, right? Gosh, that could be me. But we want to close that distance. Show them that they're loved. And it's these little gestures that can do it. It's not magical. It's what we do and what we say that shows it. What we do and what we say. And it's not just people who are struggling financially who have this message that you're a failure. It's others, right? People who don't have citizenship. People whose skin color is white. People who've been divorced. People who are struggling with mental health issues. People who are struggling with addiction. All these folks are at the margins. being told you failed, you're not good enough. But when we come across those folks, we want to be ready. Whether it's here, whether it's at an event that we're at, whether it's out in our daily life, in the supermarket or at work, we want to be prepared to close that distance. Because our instinct, quite naturally, might be to distance ourselves, because we're not sure how do we handle the situation. We don't want to offend. Right? But we have to overcome that instinct, close the gap. Say hi. Sit next to them. Invite them. It's really little things. It doesn't take much. But you have to be ready to do it. You have to practice. And then, maybe if you don't do it the one time, give yourself a break, right? Try it again next time. Do you know what I mean? Rowan knows where I'm coming from. It's being ready to love. This is what we're called to do. We are beloved children of God, and that is a gift that we pass on. It's a blessing that we bless others with. And we do that in our actions, in what we say and what we do. This is our calling, our baptismal calling, to show the world the love of Jesus. Just as we talked about with Hunter in his baptism. Each of us has that same calling. So, beloved children of God, you are loved, you are cherished, you are valued, you are so worthy. Pass that on. The world is hungry to hear that message. Show it to others.